A while back I did a video talking about the upcoming plans for the Empire of the Hand going into the future of Empire War Expanded, and today we're going to be doing that with the newest playable faction, the Hapans. While the Hapans have been around for most of the mod's history, they are only made playable in 3.2. In the upcoming .3 release, our focus has been on overhauling certain underlying systems in the mod rather than expanding on any individual faction too much. So while further work for the Hapans hasn't been a major focus in this coming version, we're going to talk about some of the important changes which have been made and explain what the next steps for them will be in .4 and beyond. The biggest change for .3 for the Hapans relates to the fighters. While the high upfront numbers of fighters and bombers on Hapan ships did contribute to their Alpha Strike style, their presence on Battle Dragon and Nova cruisers especially made it so the Hapans could basically get fighter superiority and deal a ton of damage with bombers regardless of how much of their fleet was spec'd into carriers, which they have plenty of other access to. Not to mention the assault on many players' frame rates from them with so many fighters and bombers on the field at any given time. To help with both of these situations, the Carrier Nova and Battle Dragon have had some of their upfront spawns switched to reserves, giving them a bit more staying power over the course of a battle and helping people's CPU when playing both as and against them. These changes basically put them in line with the spawning rules for carriers in other factions as well. For the Battle Dragon, this has come with a slight pop cap reduction, and we've also made a change that should hopefully trick the AI into building a few more of their more iconic ships. The Hapans will be getting a bit of extra help in the fighter and bomber control department this release as well, with the introduction of the Flare, which is joining the Bidum as a second tier of Corvette option for the faction. In .4, while the biggest focus is on adding the Huts as a new playable faction, the Hapans will start to get some new toys as well. Staying on the fighter side, they'll be getting a few more fighter types, for example filling out the Mytil line with their Mytil Interceptor, and the introduction of the Hetronar set of fighter craft. With .3 addressing progression with the introduction of years and untying most factions from the Imperial regime progression, we have much easier ways to add heroes and units from later eras. So you can expect to see new Hapan heroes even from later in the timeline, like Tenel Ka, as soon as we have assets ready for them. The core space roster isn't going to be expanded too much, however the government mechanics will be expanded to give them some unique units under special circumstances. In .2, you can currently gain support with the Maluri, Galni, and Rakud royal families, getting minor hero commanders at different breakpoints, and giving the basis for the different field-based specializations in ground battles. This will be expanded with the final three houses, Kor, Algray, and Thane, as their infantry assets get finished, which will hopefully start in .4. Additionally, the house support system will be expanded to give different rewards, some mutually exclusive as you prop up certain houses and downplay the contributions of other rival houses. The primary example of this are the House Prestige units, a unique set for all 6 houses, each having unique roles. These are basically to each of those houses what the Star Home is to the royal family. While we have 4 of the 6 models for those done, there are also standard house units available to the Hapan houses. In most but not all cases, those are modifications of pre-existing core roster units with some different visuals and some different functions. The designs and models for all 6 are done, with only texturing to come, so .4 should see the existing houses get theirs, and then as each house is added, whether in .4 or later, the prestige units will come along with them. Intervention missions, like those used in the base game and Fall of the Republic, will be tied pretty significantly into the house influence system for the Hapans and will have additional effects. As we go into the later periods of the mod's timeline, from the Yuzon Vong War to the Second Galactic Civil War, the divisions within the Hapes Consortium will be used to set up their other, longer-term narrative goals and government mechanics, so there's still a lot to come for everyone's favorite matriarchy. There's even a very small chance they could come to Fall of the Republic someday. That's all for now though. For more news on the mod's progression, including the upcoming Thrawn's Revenge 3.3 beta, you can check out the Discord server linked in the description.